Welcome back, everybody, to Rob's MetalWorks. We are here at the home studio, yes, as we end out the month of February to continue to support the best heavy bands here in San Antonio. It brings me great pleasure to welcome, yes, I must admit, one of my favorite fucking bands from the city. Great pleasure to welcome back the band called Westcreek.
What's up, Rob?
Gentlemen, welcome back. Oh, man.
Good to be back, Rob.
Oh, man.
You're sweet, Rob.
You know, I'm not kidding. You guys are one of my fucking favorite bands. I jam your music all the time.
We don't blame you. We don't blame you.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You know, I love your shit, man. You know, and I'll admit this early. I have to refrain sometimes from talking about Westcreek so much.
Don't.
No, but I have to, because people are gonna be like, "What the fuck, man? Is Westcreek paying you or what?" You know, I have to, you know, at least seem a little bit objective with the public. But yes, you guys are one of my favorite bands. You know, it seems like just not too long ago that I met Daniel Bass when you released your solo record with all the various vocalists. Welcome to 2020.
Yeah.
And right, that's when I first met you.
2020. Yep.
Yeah, and then you were telling me, Rob, I'm doing my Westcreek thing, and then when I was really came to listen to it, I was like, oh man, this is so up my alley, because I love heavy and I love melodic, and you guys just have a wonderful blend of that, and I just feel you guys have gotten better and better. So we're gonna skip all the early beginnings, because for some of you who've missed it, you can go back to our 2022 interview and watch that. Okay, so let's talk about the here and now in 2024. And I think one of the most notable things that I kind of recognize with the band is that D-Bass, you said, like, I'm going to put the guitar aside, we're going to get another guitar player, or the bassist is going to be the guitar player, and we're going to get a bass player.
Yes.
Why did that happen?
That was all John's idea, and when he first brought it to me, I wasn't fully on board because I felt almost naked without a guitar on a mic. I was a guitar player first, and then getting into singing after. So for me, that was my comfort zone. It took a while, and then just one time we had a little band meeting out in New Braunfels. Had a few beers in us at that time, and he was like, I think you should do it. And I said, all right, let's do it. And next thing we know, we played with a band that Mike was in, and John was like, this bass player, he's good, something about this guy. And next thing I know, we brought him in and started playing some songs, and that's how we got Mike.
Were you, I've known you for a little while, and I always loved you playing guitar. And I remember when I first saw video of you just like fronting the band without the guitar, I was a little kind of like, I didn't know whether I liked it or not, because I always loved seeing you play guitar, you know, instead of just being the outright front man. But when you make a transition like that, of course you have to bring in a new member, mm-hmm. right? So Eddie went to guitar,
yes.
And then you brought Mike in. So were you totally comfortable with that? I mean, because without a guitar, even though you're writing, you can still write and stuff on the back end. When you're performing, you're like you said, you're kind of naked. You're like up there. You're really the front man now.
Yeah, I mean, it took a lot of getting used to. I did a lot of, research, so to speak. I mean, I've seen bands with just vocalists, and then I've, seen bands who play guitar, but I really kind of just started studying them more. Like, what are they doing? How do they speak? There's a little bit more room to talk to the crowd.
Yeah.
Which, of course, it's still a work in progress all the time, but being able to talk to the crowd before, when I wasn't singing, I'm focusing on the guitar, so I don't really have a lot of okay, let me talk to people, hype everybody up. So it's been a little change getting used to it. But the first show that I did where I was just vocals was a festival show that we did last year, and after that show, it just felt good.
Felt
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't have to sing and play guitar at the same time.
Practice is a lot easier.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. That's cool. That's cool. You know, I interviewed you back, like you said, in 2022, and the first record I was a fan of, and I loved it. And so when you released Lifelines, the second EP, I was so anxious to hear it. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, man, this is like even better. It was like a more enhanced version of Westcreek for me. What do you attribute that to? Did you do things different production-wise, or were you just more in tune with, like, this is who we are as a band? Because, you know, like I told you last time, I said one of the things I loved about Westcreek is that you're heavy, you're melodic, you have great vocals, there's great choruses and breakdowns. But it just seemed like this time around, like Lifelines was a little bit like a step, like you guys like were like, this is who we are. Now we're gonna take it to the next level.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to us just continually trying to get better as a band. John always really pushes like, hey man, we need to write, we need to try to do more stuff. Let's kind of expand our sound a little bit. So I mean, even at this point, we have some demos that have a little bit more newer stuff that we haven't had any songs yet. But just really trying to, you know, the next song and the next video, everything has to be better than what was previously released. So that's pretty much what pushes everything, is just trying to take it to the next level. And, you know, lyrically, a lot of that stuff, it came a little bit more personal. What I try to do is really write from people's perspectives. And some of the songs we'll have, it'll be something that John brought, and, you know, he'll bring ideas for lyrics, and I kind of just put it into a song, and we'll go from there. This one was a little bit more personal for me.
Man, don't get me. I'm gonna talk all about the lyrical themes because someone got jaded.
Yeah, but no,
don't we all get jaded? Don't we all get jaded?
No, but it was good. It was just trying to do more stuff. The last album that we did, we went through Chris Mora, so he recorded that for us. The EP that we're going to release soon, we got those 2 singles out. That one, we went with Ramon Villarreal in Houston.
Yeah.
And so that was...
Dark Throne.
Yeah. Dark Tone.
Dark Tone.
Dark Tone. Yeah.
Right.
So...
And Ramon's great.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal, man. He's all right.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a cool dude.
He's all right.
That's cool, man. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there to the recording. I just want to take a little step back because I was remiss as we talked about some of the transitions in the band, because I think, you know, when you go see a band, what they're portraying live is very important. And I remember when Eddie had kind of transitioned to the guitar. Mm-hmm. At first, I didn't recognize him. I was like, "Oh man, they got a new guitar player," and I didn't realize that was Eddie. Yeah. He looks a little different. So, really, I mean, there wasn't a whole bunch of transition in the lineup. You kind of moved Eddie into the guitar and then got Mike on the bass. And so let's give Mike an opportunity just to introduce himself. And Mike, I know we were talking off camera about where you're from and stuff, but share with the people out there a little bit about your history.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I grew up here in San Antonio playing in various bands. I had a band that I was, you know, started off with, I guess, from middle school all the way to my early 20s. And when that kind of died out, shout out another dying story. It was a run, man. It was, but after that, you know, I kind of took a break from music and, you know, try to get my career together, started a family and stuff like that, and had a beautiful daughter. And so it wasn't until maybe 5-6 years ago when I started to get get that itch again, get that feeling back, and like I wanted to put myself out there, and I kind of just put myself put myself out there on the webs, and just kind of did like a spiel of me playing different covers on bass, and sure enough, one or two. When I came back, to playing live music, it was with cover bands and stuff like that, and I loved it. I mean, it was very cool. I was right then and there. I was picking up the bass, and I've played music my whole life, since middle school. I've always been a singer though, so the transition to singer/rhythm guitar, and then maybe 3 or 4 years ago when I really got serious about playing bass, and took it up with some cover bands, and played around town a few times, and it wasn't until it was literally a video. I put myself out there playing metal songs, metal covers, and people started to bite, and I got a little bite here from one of the bands here in San Antonio, Eyes Like Fire, and we played a show. Westcreek and Eyes Like Fire played a show together, and I guess John kind of saw something in me and kind of approached me about some things, and maybe he can say a little something on that note. Like I was, quick story is like, leading up to that one show that we played together, I was already a fan of Westcreek, man. I was hearing the songs, and that album that they dropped, I was like, this is, oh my God, I loved it, man. And so like I did a few posts here and there about me, I took a little selfie, me jamming. I don't know if these guys remember it, but I took a little, selfie, put it on the webs, and I tagged Westcreek, not knowing that, later that I'll be a part of Westcreek. So it's kind of full circle in that way. It's kind of a cool little story, because, I jammed these guys before I was in here. So, and it's pretty cool to be a part of this, man. So,
yeah, that's very cool. I think that, as a musician, that you aspire to work with good people, and the Westcreek guys are.
One thing I will say about Westcreek is, the brotherhood feeling is what really drawed me in, man. Yeah, like the first kind of early days of me practicing with him, I could already tell that this is family type shit. You know what I mean? This is a team, and you can't go wrong with that stuff, man. It's like a feeling in your bones, and I knew right then and there that this is it. I want to be a part of this.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I think some people don't get that, especially young bands. But being part of a group, being part of a team, being really part of something that matters musically is so important.
Yeah, I've been around, a couple bands here and there, and like I could honestly say that this is the type of feeling, like I said, I mean, the brotherhood stuff, it goes a long way for me. It's respect. It's it's just something you feel inside, and shit. I'm just glad to be a part of this thing, man.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
And it was great to meet you tonight. I'm glad that you're here, part of the Westcreek band, and it seems like this is the new face of Westcreek going forward. With you guys each concentrating on your own areas. Let's talk about why we're really here. Right? The new record. Oh, should I say, the new record for me, the new singles for you people out there. I didn't even know. Like, yeah, I've gotten, I've been privy to the EP Lifelines already. And all I can say for all you people out there is that, you should highly anticipate it. Great fucking songs. And Let Me Bleed was the first single that came out back in September. And I love that song. God, I love that song. It's so great. And you know what? After being, like I said, being privy to the whole record, I think that was the perfect choice for the first single.
Yeah, whenever we released it, I think it wasn't the first choice.
It was not.
Yeah. So
Really?
You wanna?
What was the first choice, John?
The label had a different decision on
We're gonna talk about WakeUp in a little bit. So
our first choice was I believe Tell Me It's Alright, which we haven't even released yet. That's actually going to be our next one that we're going to drop. So that's going to be our first release for that one, but we decided not to do it. It was like a last minute thing. The label's like, I want this, we want this. We chose our 3 singles we want to drop with the label, and then we said, man, we're running out of time. And Eddie's like, hey, let's do Let Me Bleed. It's like, awesome, let's do it. And that's how it went.
Wow. Yeah, I love that song. I remember when it first came out, I was like, holy shit, like, Westcreek's just getting better. And like I told you guys, and I'm going to say this on camera, and I said this off camera, but, you know, I try, my favorite bands, I try not to make it so obvious socially, like publicly. Like, because people will say, like, oh, Rob, you have favoritism to this band because you're a fan of like a super fan of theirs. But, you know, I really am a big fan of Westcreek. I love Westcreek. I love what you guys do. I love your vibe. I think it's a perfect blend of, like, heaviness and melodic. And the production is so good. And we're going to get there right now to the production. So Let Me Bleed came out. And now the second single, Life Drain, came out at the beginning of this year. What do you feel the reception has been like for these singles far?
They've been a lot better. You know, everything's kind of progressing and getting a little bit more traction and getting on some more playlists and stuff. So it has been, you know, moving in the direction.
I see that you guys are getting a lot of pub.
Yeah,
you guys are getting a lot of pub on these tracks.
Yeah. Everything's been going good. You know, we're just. Hopefully everything keeps going in the right direction. But yeah, the videos, we've put a little bit more money into them, so it's a little bit more, you know, better quality content, so to speak. You know, more entertaining. The Let Me Bleed video, we actually went and shot multiple scenes, which is something we've never done before.
I think that's so important, you know, and we'll talk about that later, Daniel. But I know you guys have a strong relationship with Crooked Media. Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about that later, but I mean, I can't express enough how important the visual media is. Yeah. You know, especially in this day and age. Yeah. I mean, you have great songs. I mean, you have to have great fucking visual media for them. You know, because there's some people who will not hear the songs unless they're visual media.
Yeah, and that's the thing is nowadays it's kind of less more of the sound of it and just more of the visual. You know, you can have a great video and kind of a okay quality recording, but people are going to respond more to the visual because it's just, you know, visibly entertaining. So we've tried to, you know, like the way I said, step up the music, step up the recording, step up the visual as well. So that's kind of where we've been going. But yeah, it's been good. We've been getting a lot of good feedback on these songs, and like I said, getting on some good playlists, getting some good plays and streams and stuff. So it's good.
I want to later on. We're going to talk about your social media presence. I think you guys do it better than anybody. Really,
that's this guy right here.
I think you guys do it better than anybody. And you know, being an old school guy, I can see that more prominent, I think, than other people, because social media presence has become kind of commonplace. But coming from my standpoint, I'm like, I can see the bands who do it really well. And you guys do it really well. We'll talk about that, Rocco, in a little bit. One of the things I also want to ask about is, you know, you guys have been a band since 2019. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the debut came out. I love the debut. I interviewed you guys for the debut because I loved it. You're here back on Rob's again because I love your fucking music. If you would say to yourself, like, what's changed or what's progressed from the debut to now, what would you say? What's gotten better? Is it the transition to having an additional member? Is it our production abilities? What is it that makes Lifelines so fucking prominent?
I think it's just really kind of going back to the way I was saying is, you know, the next step, we're trying to make it better than the previous. So there's been, you know, obviously writing more. The more you write, the better you're going to write a song. So, you know, anybody who's starting to learn to write out there and starting to write music, man, just keep going, because the first song I wrote when I was in high school didn't sound like any of these songs that come out now. So just keep writing, keep getting better at what you do, honing in your skill and your craft, and that's what we've been doing is just, writing more songs. For every, one song that we release, there's probably 20 that we didn't. So
yeah.
it's just, keep doing what you're doing and just pushing forward. Practicing is a good thing, getting better. I don't know. I mean, it gets to a point at some time where financials come in and you're going to have to put a little bit more money into it. And that's kind of where we're at now is just, getting that backing to put a little bit more money towards what we're working on. I think it's just been a culmination of all of those different things that have brought us to where we are today and hopefully continue to grow.
Tell Rocco to pimp a little bit more ass.
I might.
Do it for the band, bro. Take it for the team.
Willing to take it for the team.
Not take
Rocco.
the team.
Take the team.
Rocco, you're a team player, bro.
I'm a total team player, Rob. I'm a total team player.
Oof. Fucking Jiffy, fucking peanut butter there. I love it. Before we move on, I think too, one of the things I love about this record is just how good it sounds on my stereo. It sounds so good. And Daniel, I've known about you and your recording and production work and all the things that you've done, and I know that you've just gotten better and mastered your craft. What did you do anything different in recording this? To me, this record sounds a little fatter than the debut.
So, there was a few things on this one. So obviously we went to Ramon in Houston on that one. So dark tone.
Talk about working with Ramon Villarreal.
I can talk about it. Okay.
Go for it.
So me and Dan, we're both.
So how did you?
Yeah.
First of all, okay.
How did we find him?
So no, D-Bass had done all the stuff before.
Yeah.
And so how did the decision come? So let's go work with Raymond.
The decision came basically me and Dan talking about it, and so we had found Ramon through another band called Diosa. We played with Diosa.
Yeah, I know Diosa.
We played with Diosa in Austin a while back.
Yep.
They released some stuff because we had never heard of them, so we went and listened to their EP, and it was great. It sounded awesome. And then John was like, dude, they recorded with Ramon. Ramon used to play with Upon a Burning Body back in the day.
Yep.
And then, so Dan was on the fence about it. I really liked how the Diosa record sounded. And I was like, dude, just listen to this track. And there was one track on that one album called Waves. And it was called Waves. And it was it's very similar to what we do. And I was like, dude, just listen to this. It sounds really great. And so we listened to it in his truck, and he was like, yeah, dude, you're right. It'll be fine. And with me and Dan both being recording engineers and liking to record and do our stuff, of course we had talked about doing it ourselves. But we were like, no, let's take a step back. Let's let somebody else do it, because it's best to, when it's not yours, it's best to let go of your baby and let somebody else take care of it.
Sure, for sure.
Because
sometimes you're too close to the painting.
we're too close.
Yeah.
And dude, we'll, instead of it being mix 1, mix 2, dude, we'll probably go through 20 mixes. And then by the time we're on mix 20, it's all, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And so we decided to go with Ramon. We went to Houston. We went 2 weekends. Guitars and strings was the first weekend, a little bit of vocals. Drums, second weekend, rest of the vocals. And it was great. I really loved the recording process because Ramon's a drummer. And so the way he did it was, he goes, okay, dude, we're going to do piece by piece. He goes, we're going to do the intro, we're going to stop, and then we're going to do the verse, we're going to stop, and we went like that piece of, and I really liked that. I really, really liked it because I didn't get tired. I was able to hit the drums hard for the entire song. And then him as a drummer was really good at producing me. And there was parts of the songs where I was like, dude, I really don't know what I'm going to do on this. I'm like, I'm doing this here, and he's like, oh, try this, man. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. I never would have thought of that. And so that's basically it. And then he started sending us mixes, and we're like, man, this sounds awesome. It sounds awesome. It sounds great. He knows what he's doing, and we loved it. And then we got it mastered with Ted Jensen, which is what's the He's worked with everybody. He's worked with everybody too.
He's worked with Green Day, Alanis Morissette. It's a long list.
Long
Gojira,
list.
he did.
He did a Nickelback.
Yeah, Nickelback. He did a lot of them.
And so that was Pepper, who has us signed to Wake Up Music Rocks, and she was like, "Send me the mixes. We're gonna get it mastered with Ted Jensen." And then we got those back, and we were like, "Oh wow, that's awesome." And so
Wow.
that's basically how that went down.
Wow. So that's cool, man. I mean, yeah, I know. I remember I first came across the great work that Raymond was doing with his studio when I jammed Diosa too. Yeah, great stuff, man. So let's talk about now. I think this is very important. Is the kind of work that you guys are doing with Wake Up Music? How did all that happen, and how did that progress for the band?
So,
I mean, are they officially the label for the band?
yes, they're officially a label. We have a deal with them.
Okay.
Pepper's been listening to us, watching us for a while. Pepper Gomez.
Yeah,
And,
explain who Pepper Gomez is for the
So
people.
she's the CEO of Wake Up Music Rocks.
And where are they from?
Florida.
Oh, wow.
So she has bands like Raw is on her label, Transient, Cold Wards, Seven, really good bands. She has a lot of rock bands. The Almos are on her label, so she has a lot of good bands on her label. And
How did she hear about Westcreek? I mean, did you send her tracks or
I
what?
sent her a track through an email a while back, and she put it
She
on
was
the
probably
sound.
heartbroken.
And
She's like, I can
I
relate
think
to
the
this
first
song.
track she heard was This Life. Is what she heard. And
Yeah, that's what it was, bro. You guys are lucky. I know. Hey, dude, it's true. It's true. It's all true.
so she heard This Life, and then
And she said, I'm signing you motherfuckers.
pretty much we talked a little bit. Then she's like, I love y'all's back catalog. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
So she has the rights to the debut too, or no?
Yes. But
Yes?
only for so long.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
There's
Yeah.
a year.
I mean, I'm not an expert in the music business per se, but yeah, I mean, the debut itself too is also very precious, and if it's for a limited amount of time, I think that's great.
Oh yeah, she takes care of us, honestly.
Yeah, that's good.
She invests in us. She believes in us. She gives us our own freedom, creativity on everything.
Yeah.
I love her. Love what
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
done for the band. She's very
Pepper.
close to all of us. I
She
feel
ever
like
come to
her.
San Antonio? You guys ever brought her here?
Not yet. Hopefully soon.
When you
she-
bring her over here to MetalWorks. I want to meet her.
Well,
I'd love to meet her, and maybe we can all go out to a dinner or something.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet her, but that's great, man. And so, Wake Up is really helping with the distribution.
Yes, they are. They distribute everything. She promotes everything. She's just amazing, honestly. She's a godsend. She's helped me realize a lot of other business stuff I've never knew about in the business, and we've talked about. She spends a lot of time with me personally through emails, messages, phone calls. So she helps us a lot, and she just gives us our own freedom, what we want to do, creativity, and usually bands don't get that.
Well, you guys haven't done anything wrong. You guys haven't misstepped. I think you guys are like, seriously. I know a lot of bands, and and I think Westcreek has always kind of been along the right path, doing the right thing on the back end, not only musically, but doing the right thing on the back end to move ahead. So, and, I know you guys are smart dudes, man. I meet some guys and they're not that savvy on the back end, But you guys get it on both ends, and that's great. So if Wake Up is supporting, then by all means, leverage them all you can for the time being. Okay, let's get now to the nitty-gritty. This is the nitty-gritty for me, because holy shit, man. Lyrical themes of this record are no joke. God damn. I'm like, who broke somebody's heart in this band? Because god damn, there's so many songs on this record where fuck, man, this guy got fucked over by this chick and he's upset,
Maybe it wasn't a chick.
Well, maybe it wasn't a chick. I don't know. But, some love lost there. You know.
We'll leave it.
And like
open
I
for
told you earlier,
interpretation.
like I told Julie when I first started jamming in Life Train, I said, "That's your jam, Life Train." You know, because sometimes we feel like, you know, our love lives drive us crazy, and that's what I felt about this record. Like, but at the same time, we all deal with struggles. You know, I'm kidding. You know, when I talk about Julie and I or any of you guys, but all relationships go through some type of up and downs. But at the end of the day, we want to overcome. Mm-hmm. We want to overcome those struggles and kind of come out on the good end, right? So, D-Bass, are you the one who writes all the lyrics?
Yeah, on the EP, it's mostly been me. Every once in a while, John will bring some stuff. So yeah, it's this one. Like I said, it was a little bit more personal. But one thing is, when I do write, I like to write. I like to write for people, not just myself.
Right.
So I'll take. Somebody tells me, I have a friend and they'll go through a tough time or a sad story or something, and I mean, I'm not like exploiting them or anything, but I'll take what they have told me and put it into a song form. In some cases, I'll be inspired by a show that I watch or something that I hear, or even listening to a song, because obviously we listen to music all the time, but it was just kind of going through, I guess for me personally, just going through a divorce. Rocco was going through it as well, so we were both in the same boat.
Oh no.
But just using whatever we can to keep writing, and for writing music, that's an outlet, just I don't
suffering and pain is a good outlet.
Yeah, for music it isn't. Yeah, like when Dan got happy, I was like, well, what's gonna happen now? Like, are our songs gonna suck?
Exactly.
So I was like, well, what can we do?
You're happy, you're married, you have a baby.
Right.
What the fuck?
So there was a band meeting with Dan not present, to where it was like, okay, how do we sabotage this? We're still working on that. So, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I love the lyrical themes. I think a lot of people too relate to them. We all have relationship problems, ups and downs. I mean, but I really love them. I can relate to them all day.
Let Me Bleed was some guy told you like, oh, that'd be a cool song, right? Or what was the story with that?
Yeah. So there's a guy that I worked with. His name Nick. He actually left the company we were at before and works for the company I'm at now. He's out in Austin. Well, we went to lunch one time and he was just in the back and he was just like, "Oh, let me bleed," and I was like, "Wait a second."
No way.
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
And he sang the main chorus line, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Shut the fuck
I was
up.
like, what was that? And he's like, "I don't know." I was like, "Sing it again." And I recorded him. I went home that night. I talked to John. We kind of threw some stuff together, and the song kind of just became a song. And I've been keeping him in the loop since we've been writing it, because he inspired the main chorus line, and it's pretty cool. Shout out, Nick.
Wow. And that is a cool song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So Let Me Bleed is the first single that came out in September. Life Drain came out in January. And I kind of forget, like I told you off camera, that I've been privy to the whole EP for a while. So when can fans expect the whole EP?
Never.
Sometime this year.
What do you mean?
We don't have a release date for it yet. We have another single we are going to drop.
Which is the next single?
It's Tell Me It's All Right.
Okay.
I don't know when we're dropping it yet for that. And I don't know if we're going to drop the EP at the same time or not. We haven't discussed that yet.
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of that's a strategic kind of decision, because, I've seen some bands like, okay, we're going to release all 5 songs of the EP, at these times. And then at the end of the year, we release the whole thing together. And there's strategic reasons for that, to keep our name and music out in the market, consistently, and whatever. But yeah, all these songs are good, bro.
It just depends on the time frame. Like Let Me Bleed was on the radio for 19 weeks where we had it at. And I believe it was in Kentucky and in Florida, so it did very well. Now, Life Drain, it's kind of running its course, and we'll see when it kind of dies down, and then we'll have our next one planned and go from there.
I think all these songs are going to do well for you. I love all these songs. I love the whole record.
What's your favorite?
I think, honestly, Life Drain because of Julie, but I also love Let Me Bleed. I do. I love them all. I really do. I really do.
Mike, what's your favorite song?
Right now, Tell Me It's All Right. That one playing live. We haven't released it, but we played it at the last live show, and that thing is so fun to play. And there's for me, it's like it's really cool because there's this one part just vocals and bass, and it sounds killer. So I hope you guys love this next release, and stay tuned, man. So
Yeah. Let's talk about that now as Mike talks about shows. Let's segue into that. I know you guys have had some great shows this year. Some really prominent shows. Didn't you guys do the 99.5 Kiss thingy with Kingdom Collapse? How did that go?
Very well. Great show. Great show. Here you go.
Great show? Talk a little bit about that,
It went great.
Rocco.
We showed up, we kicked ass, and we went home. It was awesome. That was it. What else you want to know?
It was... The thing that I want to know about is, like, it was kind of not bizarre, but unexpected that it was a 99.5 Kiss thing. I mean, I haven't heard of a 99.5 Kiss show in a while. And usually when they do shows, like when they used to do shows, it used to be like at the Sunken Gardens and shit. It used to be like a big thing. But, we all know that life has transitioned to where like radio is less prominent than it used to be. And, I don't even know who fucking listens to the radio anymore.
Not many.
You guys listen to the radio anymore? I don't listen to the radio anymore.
Not many.
So it's like, for me to say, like, for them to say, like, we're going to do a 95 Kiss show, it fits. I was like, oh, okay. But I saw some photos and I saw some video, and it seemed like a really cool thing. Like, there was a lot of people there. Did you guys feel like you made new fans that night?
Absolutely.
Or there were.
Yeah. Right here, we brought the crowd. And it was a testament to the
Don't be afraid to say that. Bro.
I'm not. I think Westcreek has a good following. We built something here that people like in San Antonio, and whether it's friends or family or actual fans, man, they're out there to support, and we love every one of you, man. And it showed that night for sure.
Nice. Yeah,
We did really well at the merch booth that night for sure. Yeah, we did great. Yeah.
Well, that means that your fans were there.
Yeah, we did.
That
great.
means your fans were there.
Yeah, Kingdom Collapse did a great job of just promoting the show, and people showed up, and it was awesome. It was great.
Nice. What does the rest of this year hold for the band? What do you if you don't know yet, what do you want to do for the rest of 2024?
Open for Creed. That'd be pretty cool.
I know Scott Stapp, bro.
I mean, tell him we said what's up, Rob. Give him a call.
I do know Scott Stapp.
Open for Limp Bizkit. That'd be pretty sick.
I do know Stapp. I do know Stapp, and he's a great man. And for all the years that people have ridiculed Creed or anything regarding Stapp, I mean, because of his drug addiction, but nobody's perfect, and we all have our faults. But yeah, man, I'll always tell fucking my favorite bands, and you guys are one of my favorite bands.
Thank you, Rob. It really means a lot,
Seriously,
man.
I'm not kidding. I hope you know that I'm totally fucking being brutally honest. I jam Westcreek every day, bro.
Tight.
I jam your music every day. Ask Julie wherever the fuck she went. One of the things that I also want to mention, and I think this is one of the reasons that Westcreek is so prominent, is that you guys are so good with social media. Like, really, you guys work social media so well. like you're on all facets of social media. Like I see you guys doing like X. You guys are not only just on Facebook and Instagram, which is normal, but you guys are on X. You guys are on TikTok now. Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok now. And it's not that you're just on many platforms, but it's also the fact that you're active. You know, you're active on it, and you realize that social media in our day and age is a component that is just essential. Mm-hmm. You know, even me with what I do with Rob's MetalWorks, it's like I feel like I have to post about something to stay relevant. And I think some people are more in tune with that. Some people do it better than others. And I think the people that are doing it better are more prominent. And you guys do it well.
Yeah.
Of all the bands that I work with, I think you guys do it better than most.
A lot of that goes to Rocco, and he can elaborate. But when we got him in the band, he kind of really took off with the social media. I don't really know IG. I don't personally have one, but he kind of got on there and just really took off with it. And what I kind of, the way I always kind of saw it with Rocco was he was like that comic relief a little bit, because the way I write music, it's very, very serious. Like I don't joke around with music, and I've never joked around with it. So being able to have him come in and then we have a funny post, like, of course I'm not depressed all the time, you know, and we do have fun, but what I write about is serious stuff. And he came in and just started posting some funny stuff of us behind the scenes, and man, it's just like I said, it's that little comic relief. You want to
people like to see the different sides of a musician, you know.
I would agree with that, Michael.
Yeah,
Thank you for saying that.
They,
I would agree with that.
you know, they see one thing, and you can be serious all you want, but at the end of the day, you know, let your guard down and just be fun, man. Just show your true side, and Rocco does a great job of that, and so we do commend him for that, man. And but I think that's one thing that you know, people tell me is like, we love to see that side of you. It's just a different side. A lot of bands are just you know, straightforward, serious, and all the time. And so that comic relief type stuff it goes a long way, man. It really does.
That's great, man. That's great. You know, it's always cool to have people in your band who kind of like can take over certain parts of the things that need to be done. You know,
that's what makes the Westcreek world go round, man.
Yeah. So, as we end out, I want to talk about videos too. I love your videos. I think you guys do great videos.
Well, that's good, because I hate the videographer.
Who?
Kevin.
From Crooked Media?
Yeah, he's horrible.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I love him. I think he's cool.
Let me tell you about Life Drain.
He came over here and brought me cigars.
Oh, what a kiss ass.
He brought me cigars and said, Rob, smoke some cigars.
What a kiss ass.
Okay,
dude.
tell me.
He's a two-faced lion crook. I hate
he
that
robbed
guy.
you.
Kevin of Crooked Media. You know what happened during Life Drain?
What?
He shattered my floor tom. Shattered it. Destroyed it. Destroyed it.
That is true.
That is true.
That is true.
It's true. I'm not making this up.
And so he didn't say I'm going to replace it?
No. He still charges for the video, too.
What the fuck? He didn't discount you?
No discount. He's just laughing about it the whole night. Oh, man, that really sucks. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it does suck. It's horrible. DW Collectors, dude. It's one of a kind. Okay, it's not one of a kind, but one of a kind to me. One of a kind to me. But I am in the Life Drain video a little bit more. So I guess he made it up on that end. You know.
Well.
So yeah, if you need a video done, if you need a video done, don't go to Crooked Media. Go to anyone else but Kevin from Crooked Media. He's horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, on the real, Kevin he's amazing, man. He shot our first music video for This Life, and every video that we've done, we've gone to him. So it's been really good working with him, and we've already grown a relationship with Kevin. He also has Anthony there working with him too. So we've gotten a relationship with both of them, and it's man, we get together
And George, right? You guys,
Yeah.
George.
Yeah, and it's just, man, it's like magic, like the same way whenever we write music and it just kind of comes together. It's the same thing whenever we shoot a video with Kevin, and it's been really good working with Kevin and Anthony and Crooked Media. Really good stuff.
I guess.
Yeah, that's great, man. I'll just say this: I don't give a fuck who the fuck is behind anything, but I love the Westcreek videos. So, what was the deal with the mall video shoot? I thought that was cool.
That's John.
Yeah, I was like, when I saw that video, I was like, oh man, they're in a fucking mall. They're like doing their thingy.
So, like we said before, everything we do, we have to keep going up the notch and try to make the next one better and better and better. So, after we did Let Me Bleed, it was kind of hard to get what's their next step. And I was always looking like, well, bigger's better. Let's go bigger. So, I worked at a haunted house at the mall. And my boss and them at the time, and they helped us get the mall overnight. So we could do the whole video in the mall, and it was great experience. It was fun. It's something that you don't get to see bands do ever, so why not? So that's how that happened.
Yeah, that one we started. We got there at 9 p.m. and we started at 9 p.m. and we didn't get home till 4:30. I think it was a long night, man. It was a long night, but it was fun shooting there. It was kind of eerie being in a mall at night when nobody's there.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It came out great. I love the videos. Any last words? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to share with the people around the world who watch this interview?
I mean,
anything.
First, I mean, I would say is thank you, Rob, for bringing us back and all the kind words that you have. And I just hope, the people out there feel the same way you do and we do about the music. It's about real stuff, and that's one thing I always talked about is I want to sing about real stuff that people really feel, and I just hope it helps them move past or move on or have some sort of comfort in it, and just take it in and enjoy it. That's one thing that I would say. You guys got anything?
Thank you, Rob, and thank everyone that jams it. Honestly, it means the world to us. It really does. And if you haven't had the chance to jam it yet, please check out any of our songs. This year, we will drop our EP sometime this year.
Yeah.
We'll let everyone know, Rocco will, once it drops. But honestly, if you haven't checked out Rob's MetalWorks either, check him out. He has a great content, great bands, literally the best guy for all bands. I'm not kidding. So once again, Rob, honestly, thank you, man. Thank you.
Just a quick, thank you again, Rob, for having us on. And, it's been a bucket list type thing for me. Man, like I said, we were talking earlier before the show. And, man, ever since I've been, bands here in San Antonio, I've been in bands here in San Antonio. This has always been something that I've always wanted to do, be a part of. And I'm so grateful and I'm honored to be here. And thank you. And shout out to my family at home, my girl and my daughter, Melody Rose. I love you. And thank you guys for having Westcreek tonight. Thank you.
Westcreek is the best band that ever was, that ever will be. Go listen to us. You'll love it. That's it.
I agree.